And we are good to go. We're live.
Oh, yeah.
It is the last Wednesday of the year. Can you believe 2023 is gone?
It was a crazy year. Okay, wasn't crazy. We don't use crazy anymore. It was...
We'll preface that a little bit. We actually stopped using the word crazy in our relationship when I got ridiculed from one of my close friends, mentor. He's an amazing human. I kept saying, man, that's crazy. This is crazy. I was telling him about all kinds of cool stuff going on in our life. And I was saying how crazy it was. And then in the middle of me talking, he ripped my face off.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. For telling me, why do you you're pumping me up? I was on this high with you, and then you keep saying it's crazy, and then it just threw it to the ground. Why the freak do you keep doing that? And then he felt bad for ripping my face off as much as he did. And I am so grateful that he did that.
Me too.
I'm grateful that he put me in my place. And I said, please keep doing that. Not many people put me in my place, call me out, and just point out things that I do that may or may not be beneficial.
Yeah. It's cool when you told me about it because I wasn't there when it happened. But it was cool because it's awesome to know that we have friends like that. And I was like, that is someone to keep close because they are going to tell you to your face what you need to improve on and what needs to change, or if something isn't right. Like, they're not going to sugarcoat it. They're just going to tell you, which is the kind of friends that we want in our corner.
That is the kind of friends we want in our corner. And that's like the perfect segue, even though it wasn't planned, into our topic today. It is the end of 2023. And what does that mean for most people?
Goals.
Hashtag goals. That's what it means.
Yep.
And you want people in your corner, your spouse, your SO, your significant other, you want them in your corner. You want them to say to your face on how to keep you straight.
Yeah. I feel like people go into the new year setting these goals and being like, okay, what new goals are we going to set? First off, I want to start, why do you got to wait till the beginning of the year?
It's dumb.
Why do you got to wait? And people always start on a Monday too. Or they're like, oh, I'm going to start next week. Like, I'll start on Monday. Start today. Start right now. Like, don't wait. This will air on Wednesday, and I don't even know what day of the week the first is for January, but start today. Why not set your goals for what you want to achieve right now, today, and start now? Why wait?
This whole idea of starting a new cycle is dumb. Starting a new cycle on Monday, starting a new cycle on the first of the month, the first of the quarter, the first of the year. Dude, just start now and make that your first. How many goals do we currently have as of the time of this releasing that we've been doing for months?
So many.
We've got goals that we have aimed for December 31st that started back in July.
Yeah.
And goals from August to January. My current main primary focus, which we will get into in this episode, slates to end January 30th or 31st, however many days are in end of January. And I started them in middle of November, beginning of November, and really kicked them off beginning of December. They were 2-month goals.
Yeah. It's awesome. We've been setting goals all along the year, and just as they come up, as we want to improve on things, we are setting these goals. And the biggest thing is we're talking about them. I have talked to so many people that are like, wow, you guys talk about your goals a lot together. And it's like, actually, we talk about them every day.
All the time.
We're always, because that is our primary focus, is our goals, what we're working on in the moment. And we want to help keep each other accountable on a daily basis. How do you do that if you're not talking about it regularly?
It's not happening. In your life, I kind of think about this as a side analogy, but it does segue into this topic. Long time ago, I was writing down the miles for a company vehicle. And I was trying to figure out how many miles to do and riding off gas. And at the time, my mentor, whom is also my dad, he said, Well, do you talk about business in the car? Yeah. Do you talk about business on the way to dinner with your family, way to events, way to things? Yeah. So therefore, are you always working because you're always talking about business? Yeah. And I've really thought about that conversation by way of our goals. For ever since then, we're always talking about our goals. We're never not talking about where we're at, where we're going, and how we're going to get there. What I'm going to do to get there, what help I need with. Like, where do I need help? Because I know my weaknesses, and Michaela knows my weaknesses, sometimes better, more often not, better than I know my own weaknesses. So she knows how to support me and how to help me. But this is throwback to a few episodes ago where she said, how much are you paying attention? In reference to me remembering what she was wearing on our first date over 10 years ago. How much are you paying attention to your significant other? You know where they're strong. You know where they're weak. You know when they set a goal that they're probably just not going to hit. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That is not bad. That is amazing because use the whole shoot for the sun, and if you miss it, at least you hit the stars. Or the moon. At least you got out of the stratosphere. Like, at least you did something.
There you go.
And it's always having this repetitious communication to know where they are.
Yeah. I feel like that's the first thing to take away from this episode is, are you having conversations on a regular, consistent basis with your partner about your goals, about what you want, about what's important to you? Are you having those conversations on a regular basis? We set goals at the beginning of the year. Yes. We set goals throughout the year. Yes. But if you're not consistently talking about them, especially with your partner, make that change now.
And we've got goals together. We've got goals on our own, independent goals. We support each other in our couples goals, and we support each other in our independent goals. She supports me in mine. She supports herself in hers. Don't forget to support yourself.
Yeah.
Don't give all of your energy away back to this whole, it's a zero-sum game. You need energy for your own goals. How much are you supporting your spouse? When Michaela and I were talking about this topic before recording, we were thinking about how do you support your spouse in any capacity? Sometimes it's indirectly supporting your spouse. For instance, your spouse wants to get up in the morning and go to the gym. How often are you ensuring the alarm is set for them, not for you? How often, you can support them by going with them. Isn't that a shocker? But if that's just not you right now, that's okay. Just because that's their goal, it doesn't mean it needs to be your goal. You can still support them. For the first 3 years of our marriage, 4 years of our marriage, whatever it was, Michaela didn't go to the gym with me. But she made sure that the alarm was set. If I laid in bed because I slept through the alarm, sometimes because my alarm is actually my watch, and it's a silent alarm, so I don't wake Michaela up. But sometimes she's got an alarm that goes off now too, and if I'm just laying there because I slept through it, she'll smack me and say, "Are you going?"
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going. But are you also encouraging them to go to bed on time? Versus, oh man, it's been a long day. Let's just cuddle and watch a show or just hang out together while after the kids went to bed, because I just need that space and that support and that comfort. Are you keeping them later than they should be, making it difficult to get up? Or are you saying, hey, you got to get up early in the morning to get to the gym. We need to go to bed.
Yeah. Supporting your partner in their goals and helping them to reach them. Thinking about beginning of the year goals, a lot of people's goal is weight loss. So if you're talking about this with your partner and you're talking about you have specific goals for weight loss, what about a week or 2 weeks later and your other partner comes home with a box of donuts? How is that supporting you in your goals? Be like, oh man, this sounds great. Be like, hey babe, I brought home some donuts. That's not supporting your partner. If they have a specific goal of wanting to lose weight and letting you know the steps that they are specifically taking to reach that goal. You have to support them in that by not bringing home a box of donuts. Like, you have to be like, hey, let's make chicken and rice, or hey, let's not go out to eat as much this month. Like, I know you're really working on this. Let's maybe not do that. Like, let's eat at home. Let's make food. Let's not sit in front of the TV and eat chips and salsa at 10 o'clock at night. Like,
I love me some chips and salsa.
so good. But supporting your partner in that way. Sometimes we all have our weak moments to where we're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to set these goals. It's going to be great. And then a few days passes by, and then a week passes by, and then time passes on. And sometimes you're going to have weak moments, or where you're like, it's fine. It's just one donut, or it's just one night. It's just one meal. Can you be the partner that stands up and says, no, you have a goal. I'm going to help you, support you in this. I'm going to help hold you to this, holding your partner accountable, and being strong when your partner has a weak moment.
That one's huge, because we all have weak moments. Michaela supported me in mine. I support hers and hers. And sometimes we have weak moments together and we hold each other.
Yep.
And sometimes we've got strength moments together and there's no weakness at all. But this is not to say that you can't plan in a donut.
It's true.
You can plan in a donut. You just got to plan it. Maybe you decide to do a little bit of intermittent fasting in the morning, so you have a little bit of a caloric surplus in the afternoon. That was pre-planned together. So here's a little bit, before we get to structure, I can hear in the back of my mind people saying, my spouse doesn't support me.
That's hard.
I've got big goals and I don't feel support from my spouse. How the freak do you go over that?
That's a hard one, because this is your partner. You're supposed to be on the same team. You're setting these goals. You're telling your partner about these goals, and they're like, yeah, I don't know if you're going to hit that. I don't know. That's a little bit too much. I don't think we can reach that. I don't know if you can reach that. Like, maybe that's a little bit unrealistic. That's hard.
I'm going to kick you in the throat a little bit. Have you considered you've set a lot of goals and have not shown up for them? You set goals and then you give up in a week or 2 weeks or what have you. Therefore, they have zero faith in you. They have no confidence in you. So when you say these big goals, my spouse never supports me. Well, have you made a lot of goals in the past and just not hit any of them? Because if that's the case, they're probably not wrong in not believing you.
Yeah.
And at some point, people just don't want to support a liar. So they say, you're probably not going to hit that. You might as well give up now.
And it's with good intentions that you make these goals. But if there's no follow through, if you're not actually reaching them over time, there's going to become a pattern. So how do you break that pattern?
Prove them wrong.
There you go.
You may have not followed through in the past, but that person's dead.
Yeah.
That person's long gone. You should be evolving every day. And you can recognize that you've buried that person. And maybe they don't believe you. They don't have to. You might have to stand on your own 2 freaking feet and prove them wrong. And they will. They will come around and show support when they see you actually making stride and doing something. We have a friend that this friend, their spouse, has not supported them, and with good reason. They've started a lot of things and not finished any of them. Therefore, the spouse does not support them. For anonymity, I'm not saying he or she. But this person, I still see them at events. They are still showing up. Like 18 months later, still showing up. They're still going. And they're changing the tide. They're shifting because they are holding true on their own 2 feet. And that spouse is slowly coming around.
Yeah. I feel like another thing going into, as you consider the goals that you're going to make coming up, don't make so many. Simplify. Figure out, maybe at first you can make a big list of all these things that you want to improve on and grow on and work on. But then I encourage you to limit it to your top 2 or 3. Honestly, for me, I would say 2, because especially if you've started a lot of things and not finished them, maybe start with 1. Just 1. That's it. Pick your top goal, the thing that is the most important to you right now. And then once you've figured out what that is, then make a list of action steps of what you are going to do on a daily basis to reach that goal. Because you can't just be like, this is my goal, this is what I'm going to do. Great. How are you going to get there? You won't ever get there if you don't set the action steps on a daily basis. These are the steps I'm taking every single day to reach that goal. Start there.
And here's a hack for all my unconscious friends, all my friends that like to study unconscious behavior. If you don't have a lot of self-confidence, aka you've made a lot of goals, made a lot of promises, and haven't kept most of them, the fastest way and the only way to build confidence, the actual definition of confidence, is making and keeping promises with yourself. Instead of going and setting out a single big gargantuan goal, I'm going to get up every day and go to the gym every day for the next 30 days. Don't do that. You're going to fail. How about you just set a goal to brush your teeth every day at 9 p.m.? Set an alarm on your phone at 8:59 and 8:58 and 8:57 if you need it. And go get the travel size disposable one-time use toothbrush. They already have toothpaste on them. Put one in your pocket. They come in packs of 12 or 20 or something like that on Amazon. Keep one in your pocket or in your purse for the ladies, somewhere that's on you. And when that alarm goes off, you pull that sucker out, and when that thing hits 9 o'clock on the nose, you pull that out and brush your teeth. This installs in the unconscious mind, I do what I say to the exact moment. Very easy, very simple, and you will build confidence quickly. Do that. I'm going to do this for 5 days. I'm going to do this for 7 days. Once you do that, I'm going to do it for another 7 days. Once you do that, I'm going to do it for another 7 days. And stack this rapport with yourself. And as you stack the rapport, stack on something else. I'm going to brush my teeth at 9 p.m. and I'm going to read 1 page in a book. That's called habit stacking. And as you habit stack other things, you can start building some real confidence quickly. So take what Michaela said. Do one goal, but make it so simple.
Yeah.
So easy. And if you're somebody that does keep your word to yourself specifically, do something a little bigger. For me, I make 2 to 3 goals at a time. And I do my power list every day. And my power list has something, 2 to 3 things, annihilating each one of those goals every day. And once I've done the one thing to hit that goal, it's done.
Yeah.
Box checked.
That's huge. Yeah. You listen back to what he said there about habit stacking, because that's where it starts. I was never good at keeping promises to myself. I really struggled with it. And having to start with the tiny little things, not the big goals, the small ones. And what's cool, something that we've done that we haven't done every single year, but I do love doing it, is at the beginning of the year, we do a date night and we'll go out to dinner, go somewhere where it's a little bit more quiet. And we will bring paper and pencil, and we write down our goals for the year. And we write down our goals for the month, for the next 6 months, for the year. And we write our goals for ourselves individually, for us as a family, and for us as a couple, and things that we want to work on and progress on and get better at. And then we talk about it and we have conversations, and it's great. And I encourage you to start doing that more. Have conversations with your partner on a regular basis, like we said, about your goals, and set smaller goals and support your partner in them.
What she said. Nothing else to add. That was awesome. So you can find me on socials, Mr. Brad Draper.
And Draper choosing us.
Like it, subscribe to it, Download it for future listenings. Until next week, we love you guys. Bye.